already seen our video on how to diaper a baby. Today we're going to do kind of the exact same thing, but with a little bit of a twist. We're going to talk about how to cloth diaper a baby. Some of the tips and tricks I give here might be a little bit dependent on the specific brand I use. So I do recommend that if you are going to go into cloth diapering to definitely do some research about the brand you've chosen. Most of them have guides on how to best put the diaper on and how to troubleshoot any issues like leaks. And many of them also have Facebook groups as well that you can join, which are a really great resource for asking questions if you're having any issues with your cloth diapers. So quickly, I'm just going to give a little bit of an anatomy of a cloth diaper. Again, there's a million videos and articles on the internet already about all the different types of diapers and different types of absorbencies, so I'm not going to get into the weeds here. But really what we're working with today this is a shell. This is really the waterproof protective layer. You can see this one's just lined with mesh. So this doesn't actually absorb any of the liquid. But this is what, keeps baby and baby's clothes dry and from any liquid just leaking through. And so then of course you're going to want to put some absorbency in there. So this particular brand I use has some snap-in inserts. You can see there's snaps on here, and then there's some snaps inside the diaper. So you just snap the insert right in. And then I really like these ones because there's actually a waterproof layer on the back of the absorbency as well. So if you're using this type, if it's just a pee diaper, you can actually just unsnap this piece and you can reuse the shell a few times before washing it. So you don't have to have quite as many of these as you do the inserts. So that's kind of a nice feature. These are the Grovia hybrids, which we pretty much use exclusively. So there's two types really. This one has a hook and loop strip, so like a Velcro type attachment, which is very similar to fastening just a regular disposable diaper. So this is really good for when you have caretakers who aren't used to cloth diapers, or if you're new to them yourself. These have a really easy learning curve. This is another type of absorbency too, what probably most people are used to seeing as a cloth diaper. This is called a pre-fold, and this is kind of the old-fashioned cloth diaper where there's all sorts of ways to fold and twist this into a diaper. And once upon a time, this part was fastened with pins, and then you would have put a plastic pants over top of it instead of this shell. Some people still really like to use these. If you just fold it in thirds and lay it inside the diaper like this, it can be a really easy way to gain some absorbencies because these hold a lot. So for our bear here, we're using a bear model because my almost 2-year-old would never in a million years lay this still. So the bear is good for that. So I'm going to quickly show you with both a Velcro hook and loop diaper. This one, you can see I've already snapped down the rise. So these snaps on the front are so you can adjust it for the size of your baby. Many cloth diapers, I'd venture to say most, have these sort of rise snaps, and they're considered a one-size diaper. So you can really use them from infant all the way to potty training for most kids. My almost 2-year-old is actually only on the second rise snap, so he's not even fully let out yet. So we have plenty of growing room still at 2. This one already has the absorbency snapped in. The rise is snapped all the way down because this bear is quite small. So what you want to do is really just like any diaper, you're going to start obviously by putting it under their bottom. With cloth diapers, you want to keep the back of the diaper kind of in line with where the baby's belly button would be. So you want to make sure you get it up high enough on their back. You don't want to go too low or you're going to have trouble getting a good fit. And then what you're going to do is you're actually going to pull the absorbency up first. So this is attached to the diaper, so it'll come with a little bit. But you want to make sure the absorbency is flat against the baby. And then you can pull the rest of the shell up. And what I do is I kind of fold it in a little bit as I pull it up, because with cloth diapers you want to make sure that the elastic is sitting kind of what would be the underwear line up in that crack of their leg to make sure that it's nice and snug around the leg so you don't get any leaks. So I kind of like to squeeze it in a little bit as I do that to make sure. And then once I have it up, I'll kind of move baby's leg out a little bit just to make sure it's all the way in that little crack of the underwear line. And then, you know, with these hook and loop ones, it's very much like a disposable diaper now. So you take your Velcro piece and you fold it over and you fasten it nice and snug. And the same with this side. So we'll do the same thing. And again, since he's small, this one actually kind of overlaps a little, so you get it nice and tight. And then the other thing to make sure of is here on the rise, if you've got it snapped down, you want to make sure that rise fold is up so that you're able to kind of stick your fingers up in there like that, which helps keep the diaper nice and flat and helps eliminate any leaks. So then you can check to make sure the bear's tag is sticking out, but if there's any absorbency sticking out anywhere, you're going to want to tuck that in, but you can see it's actually nice and snug around the bear's legs, so you won't get any leaks out of the legs. And then if you check the back again, if the absorbency is sticking out up top at all, you want to just kind of tuck that in. And so it should be nice and snug around the back as well. So really not too much different than a disposable diaper. Just a few little tips and tricks that you want to keep in mind to make sure you have a nice snug fit and you don't get any leaks. And then quickly I'm going to show you the snap diaper. Really the fit is very much the same. The snaps can kind of throw people for a loop a little bit. So again, we're going to put this under the baby and in line with their belly button. And then you'll pull up the absorbency first and then kind of follow that with the diaper. Again, making sure the rise is pointing up and kind of folding it in. So we've got it in those leg creases, making sure that it falls in there nice and snug so you don't have leaks. And so now in the snap diapers, you can see there's two snaps here. This is the hip snap. And this is the snap that really adjusts how tight it is around their leg. So again, the bear's kind of small, so we're going to bring it in pretty far here. And you're going to snap that hip snap first. I'd like to do both hip snaps first, but depending on your baby, you might already know what snaps you need, so you might do both at the same time. But you do the hip snaps first, and that keeps it snug around the legs. And then you have a little bit more adjustment here, where if you have a little bit of a skinnier baby, you can really cinch it up a lot around the waist a little bit more. So this one actually, you can see there's an extra snap here. So for small babies, I'm able to snap it here, and then I can actually snap this one on top to keep it closed. So same thing, rises up, snug around the legs. Make sure all your absorbency is tucked in. And that's really it. Modern cloth diapers now are very similar to disposables. So they're really quite easy to use. They can look a little bit intimidating, especially with the snaps. The biggest thing I see with the snaps, if someone who hasn't used cloth diapers before, is they forget this hip snap, and they'll just snap it right to this waist snap, and then you start to get this piece kind of falls out, and you'll get all sorts of crazy leaks. So you just want to make sure you get the hip snap on that one. But again, these hook and loop versions are really very, very similar to a disposable diaper. So yeah, that's how you use a cloth diaper. And again, I recommend, depending on what brand you use, seeking out their resources to make sure you really are getting the perfect fit. Leaks can obviously be frustrating, and they can be a reason a lot of people give up cloth diapering. So if you have a good fit, you're pretty much golden.